you've built some big things. You've grown, you've changed, you've pivoted. How have you dealt with some of that cost? Like, have you had any examples of times you've had unexpected costs of growth?
I see it all the time. Like, this is resonating with me because I'm probably feeling this right now. We're probably feeling certain phases, or maybe the consequences of people realizing growth in all areas, kind of. But I've seen it in all those tiers. The question, and maybe this is, I think, an interesting conversation, is how do I find peace in it? I think that's something I'm interested in and more focused on is, what is the experience? Like, I have folks right now where the perception of me is that I'm in our largeness. They will personally stop treating me like a person, which is difficult. That's the hard thing. Like, I get people who are like attacking me. I'll give you a good example. Someone sent me a Loom video, personal DMs of a Loom video they wanted me to watch. This is not a paying customer. This is just a person off the street. Send me a Loom video. My intention, this is crazy, but I still would have probably gotten around to watching that Loom video. But they sent this Loom video in the evening and then bought 12 hours later. So, like, truly, like, was I awake? But it was outside of work hours. So you're like, you're in the evening. Let's say it was like 8 p.m. Like, was I still awake? Like, yeah, that's fine. And then by 7 a.m., they responded again and were upset, offended, affronted by the fact that I had not watched their Loom video. And you'd think just a reasonable extension of human courtesy would be like, consider the context or whatever it is. But their explanation in their mind, they felt judgment. And then they passed that. And then in their own judgment of my lack of responsiveness, which in my mind was a reasonable constraint to say between non-working hours, I may not be as responsive, but this could happen during the day as well. Like, this could be, you send me
for sure,
and I get this same sort of thing. Like, it's a 10 o'clock, you send it to me, and then by 5 hours later, someone's offended because I haven't gotten them. And that degree of feeling offended is because in their mind, the narrative is, I have looked at them, I have said, you are not worth my time, and I've actively said they're not worthy of my attention. That's what the perception is. But if they sent the same Loom video to some nobody or whatever,
someone just getting started, right?
Someone just getting started, and that's offensive. I said someone nobody, but like someone who, like, you're just like, oh, brand new person off whatever, and they've no status, they've no perception of there would be no reason for this person to ever think lower of them because they're lower than me. And they didn't watch it, they probably would not feel those same things. They wouldn't feel judged by it. They'd think like, oh, maybe they're busy, or maybe they're not online, or they would forget about them. It wouldn't even stick in their mind that I wonder if this person is going to see the thing that I sent them. And so that's how it practically plays out. How I've chosen to find peace about it is it's more intentional time disconnected. I have to intentionally disconnect from electronics. We were talking about this before we hit the record button, finding a new rhythm for physical activity, exercise. It's like the reality of the endorphins of doing it. And now I've paired exercise with like a sauna. So it's like this treat there, which is like it's like a real reset, and mentally just to be in this space where I previously, and I still have those habits where I tried to like condense physical activity into like the least amount while still being effective. So I try and fit like a quick workout in, or just like get it in, get my sweat or my steps in, or what functionally. And now I kind of see it as like, this is actually good time and space. Like I need the balance of the resets. And the same thing with like time with our kids. Like even today, like it's a lot of like outside time with the family, physical activity. And then I've been pairing it with like actually just time in like a sauna, and that experience is like sweating in the heat. And it's just like a good little meditative space to realign, recenter, like find empathy. That's like, I think gratitude and empathy are like the two things that I try to focus on. Is like gratitude for all the things that like are happening and going that we even have the privilege to have influence over, and then empathy and understanding and to process these sort of things, like for what this other person's feeling on the other side. Because no doubt the temptation when I receive that is to feel a great sense of negativity, like to wear that. I should have been
to carry it with you and
to carry it with you, like, and to degrees of that, but it's degrees of negativity. It's like either, my own responsibility. I feel bad. I should have been more responsive. I should have been faster. Not the right response, but you feel that.
Yep.
Or then anger. How dare you, why are you even putting this on me? Right. So like first I put it on myself and then I blame them for allowing me, to put it in that place. But I think no matter what, and you could see this personally as well, like in different areas where you have those relationships where the same sort of thing happens, where their response is them being judged by your growth. And then the cool thing is that we have agency. We have within ourselves everything we need to work through the mental gymnastics required to weather this kind of growth and to still find a way to enjoy the process.